This morning, Fox Sports announced a deal to make Tom Brady its lead NFL game analyst after he retires. Joining us is the man that broke the news on Brady's 10-year, $375 million contract, which is the largest in sports broadcasting history, is the New York Post media expert, Andrew Marchand. Now, Andrew, he's the GOAT on the field. Now he's the GOAT in the booth, and the man hasn't even officially retired yet. Now, how did this deal come about? And after signing this deal, do you think it's TB12's official last season in the NFL?
Well, that's going to be up to him because this contract won't start until he does actually retire. And the way things have gone with Brady from the quarterback position, who knows when that will be, right? We're talking 5 years from now and he's still playing. That wouldn't be surprising, but I think he'll probably wrap it up in the next year or two, maybe three, and then he'll be in the Fox booth. And to get someone like Brady into that booth, you had to pay him this type of salary because there was some hesitancy. I mean, he's Tom Brady. Number one, he has a lot of money, and what he's going to do in his next stage of his life is basically whatever he wants. And so you had to make it worth his while, and Fox did that. They've always wanted the biggest names, Hall of Famers, and this is probably the biggest name you could ever get in NFL history in Tom Brady, to have him in your booth. So it was a pretty good rebound after they lost Joe Buck and Troy Aikman to ESPN.
It's a great rebound, but whether it's one season he continues to play or 5 seasons, Fox Sports has to find someone to keep Brady's broadcast mic or chair warm. I don't know the official lingo for that, until he steps into the booth. So what options do they have for this upcoming year or for however long it takes TB12 to retire?
You would think Greg Olsen would be the leading candidate. He was the number 2 analyst with Kevin Burkhardt. Burkhardt was already moved into the number 1 role for Fox Sports. If you put Olsen in there, it's a Super Bowl year, and he had a good rookie year. They thought about Drew Brees, trying to have him come over from NBC. Olsen kind of had a better year than Brees. Brees is a bigger name, so I don't really see that happening. I don't think it's impossible, but I don't know if Brees would want to, as you said, keep the mic or seat warm for Brady. Olsen, not as big a name. If he does well, though, he'll be in a position to maybe force them to have a 3-man booth or move back to the number 2 role. He also could get a raise in this scenario. And here's one thing that's very interesting to think about. If the Buccaneers do not make the playoffs, or if the Buccaneers do make the playoffs and don't make the Super Bowl, could Tom Brady jump into that booth for the postseason and have a 3-man booth? So when you're watching next year's Super Bowl, the booth is Kevin Burkhardt, let's say Greg Olsen, and Tom Brady. I think that's very possible.
I've never even thought about that, but that's why they pay you the big bucks, my man. So
I got 375 as well for that story. That's how it works. That's how it works. If they pay somebody $375 million, I report it, then I get their salary. So that's I'll look for that in my next check.
So you guys can read Andrew's full article on nypost.com/sports. Andrew, thank you for your time.
Thanks, Brandon.